Today we are looking at some decorative French antiques, and we're starting with a couple of little paintings that we found on our travels this week. If you've seen the channel before, you know that I love my art, my paintings. It's my favourite thing to buy. And we have a couple of little pieces to show you here, old paintings. Now Tracy picked this one, didn't you, Tracy? Mm-hmm. This is, as you can see, a coastal scene. It is, I think the frame is original, but the frame is a little bit damaged on the corner, so we need to have a look at that. Do you want to come in and take a look, Tracy? Okay, as you can see, it's in, well, we think it's probably around the 30s. It has that sort of look, doesn't it? It could be earlier. Sort of feel. Could be earlier. It's got this raised paint effect in pasto down here on the rocks. Quite interesting, nice little painting. Quite a jolly little piece. On the back, have a look. As you can see, it is an aged canvas. It is an old piece. It could well be actually 19th century. I think I'm beginning to lean more towards this might be 19th century, because that is an old canvas, isn't it? So there's no date. There is a signature down in the corner somewhere, but that is very, very rubbed and faded, isn't it?
I couldn't decipher it at all.
A nice little decorative piece to put on the wall. This charming little painting is, as you can see, a little farming scene. We think this is probably Normandy. It certainly looks a bit Norman. This, we do have an artist's signature and a date for this picture. It is 1935, and the artist is Paul Lefebvre. Is I saying that right, Tracy?
Lefebvre.
Lefebvre?
I know, it's one of those words.
It's a weird one.
Say.
It's a weird one, but we've looked him up.
It's not weird. It's normal
in France. It's
weird
to us, isn't it?
But it's just, there's some letters that the English don't put together, and
yeah,
a B and a V is one of
a
them.
bit odd. But anyway,
well, it's not odd. We're the ones that are odd because we can't say.
Well, you're
it.
very odd. So let's move on, because you're too odd. You're too odd for the video.
Must be odd.
Anyway, yeah, we've looked up the artist and we found a couple of artists. So we're not sure which one this is. One was a potter as well, wasn't there? There was a potter in there in the mix. So a little bit more research needed, but it's a jolly little picture. And this one does need a little bit of a clean. You can see it's a little bit stained around here. Well, that's sort of smoke. The old French farmhouses, you get the fires, and it tends to mark the pictures over the years. So that we're going to give this a little bit of a clean up before we put it on the site. But it's a nice little picture, and nice to have the date. It really helps with the date. On the back, you can see, not much to see there, but it is an old canvas. So it all helps when you get the dates on these things, if you're aging. When you see them and they're not dated, and you can look at the canvas, you can sort of get an idea of ages. So there we go. It's the tower, I think, on this painting that sort of draws you in, draws the eye. It's very interesting. And the little cows down there in the corner, they're quite cute.
Tower looks like the Tower of London, doesn't it?
Does a bit. Well, the Tower of London was Norman, of course. Ah, there's a clue.
Yeah, but look at the age.
Yeah.
And that's quite interesting. That could be a really old tower then on this picture.
No, I don't think it's that old. I don't think it's Norman. It's brick, isn't it? It's brick. Red brick.
Red brick and stone.
Hmm. Yes.
Well, what's the Tower of London then? Well, brick and stone?
Maybe the farm belonged to William the Conqueror. Who knows?
Maybe.
Lovely little picture. Next we have a classic piece of Art Deco. Couldn't be more Art Deco, couldn't be more French. A lovely little scene here with the dogs. Now we believe these are borzois, is that right, Tracy?
Yep.
Borzoi dogs, very popular in that Art Deco period. You often had the ladies with the dogs on the lead, the sort of sleek ladies and the sleek dogs, and these dogs are very sleek. But they're a beautiful little pair. Now we bought this down at our local Vide Grenier, which we had a couple of days ago down in Marigny, our local little town. And when we saw these, we just thought we've got to have them. And we did get them for a very good price, actually. They're filthy. We've given them a good clean up, but I'm sure you'll agree they're fabulous, fabulous dogs. Lovely Art Deco. Come in and take a look, Tracy. The detailing on here is really good on the dog and the tail. Unusual to see just two dogs, I think. Often they are with the lady, aren't they? With a character.
With a lamp. They're often with a lamp, aren't they?
Yeah, we sometimes have a single with a lamp. Yeah, that's true.
I like it. I prefer it just the dogs. It's nice. Oh, with the lamp is nice, but
we love our dogs, as we've probably...
And these are like a couple of lurchers, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they really are.
We had a dog, William, very similar, didn't we?
I will cut in a picture of the dogs.
Yeah.
And you can see, compare.
But that is very heavy. It's on a solid marble base. Lovely piece. Really, really nice. Beautiful piece of Art Deco. So it is very heavy because the base is in marble, solid marble. But the dogs actually are spelter. They're not bronze, they're spelter. Spelter is much more affordable generally. I mean, if these were bronze, they'd be a lot of money. So yeah, these are in spelter, in lovely condition. Beautiful piece of Art Deco that we've got to find somewhere in the house for that, Tracy. Got to find a space.
I would just add that sometimes spelter does get a bit of a bad rap, as bronze is so expensive and people tend to always look towards bronze figures. But it makes it affordable for people to have in their houses.
It is much more affordable,
We've got many figures in both spelter and plaster that are absolutely beautiful. They're stunning.
The spelter can be fragile. Can be very fragile, spelter, can't it?
Yeah, it can be.
So these have survived nigh on 100 years in really good order. But I suppose once they're up on a mantelpiece, if they don't get touched too much, they're all right, yeah. But there we go. Beautiful Art Deco set. And we've got to find room in the house for that, Tracy. So some of your stuff may have to go.
Yeah, that really won't be happening. More likely to be yours, love.
We shall see.
Yeah, we will.
Next we have today this very cute little lion.
Fierce.
Fierce. This very fierce and cute little lion. Come in and take a closer look, Tracy. This is the Lion de Belfort, and it is actually a little inkwell. You see the head lifts up there on a little hinge. Now it would have had a glass or porcelain little liner in there for the ink. That's missing, but you can replace them quite easily. You can get them on the internet, little replacements. So it is a little inkwell. The Lion of Belfort is very famous in France, and if you look on the internet, it's spelt Belfort with a T. Take a look on the internet, you'll see it's a huge sandstone lion in the town of Belfort, which is close to the Swiss border. And it's, I think, 11 metres high, 22 metres wide, this huge lion.
Long. Really, 22 metres long.
The original statue was by Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, and he is the same guy who made the Statue of Liberty, which I think everyone knows the Statue of Liberty. And this was made, this statue, in commemoration of the Siege of Belfort, where the French troops held off 40,000 Prussian advancing troops. And I think there were 17,000 French, of which only 3,500 were soldiers, so the rest were just locals, and they held back the Prussian troops for, I think, 10 months or something. It's a long time. Anyway, the information's all out there. But
I think it was 3 months.
Yeah, a long enough time though. So that's really interesting. That's why the statue was made. Now, wasn't there a story, Tracy, of why they
originally the lion was
roaring?
He was fierce and roaring facing towards Germany, but because by that point they'd made up, the sculpture was told to face the other way and to not be in a fierce pose, but they put an arrow under his front paw, facing towards Germany.
Yeah, something like that. It's quite interesting. All the information's out there.
It's a really interesting story, actually.
That's what this little chap is, and it's really lovely. It's so well designed, isn't it? Really nicely made little piece. This piece itself probably dates to early 20th century, probably 20s, 30s, something like that, we think. But it's in spelter. Nice, beautiful little lion. There we are. There we go. The little Lion of Belfort. Lastly today we have this lovely piece, which is actually Japanese, not French, it's Japanese. And this dates to the Meiji period, was around 1870 to 1910, sort of late 19th century. And this is lacquered, as you can see, and it's in wood, often in paper mache, but I actually think because of the weight of this, I think this is probably wood. And it has a cork compartment inside, little compartment for your bits and bobs. Make a fabulous jewellery box.
It looks like a sewing box, doesn't it? With all the
Do you think?
compartments. Yeah, I do actually.
Not a
I mean, it
jewellery
might
box.
not be. It might not be, but to me,
Yeah.
with all the little compartments, it would make a great sewing box even today, actually.
But it's such a quality piece, this. It's quite weighty. And if you come in and take a look, Tracy, you're getting all the little pictures around here, all the little scenes. I'll try and spin it round so you can see all the scenes. Got red. Now I believe they made this patterning by using a powder, and you can see it under the eyeglass. It's they used a sort of gold and silver and red powder and fixed it to the lacquer. Interesting, but lovely. It's a little bit faded on the top, but it probably sat in the sun on a top of a dressing table or something for years, so that's probably why it's faded. But the rest of it's in very good order.
And it's got its tray, which is nice. They're often missing, aren't they?
Yeah. But yes, we don't buy much in the way of Japanese or Chinese antiques, but this one just screamed out quality, had to buy it. Just a lovely, lovely piece. So there we are. I think that is it for today. So I hope you enjoyed our little video. Please like and subscribe if you did. It would really help. And we sell our items on our Etsy shop, Secret Chateau, and we have our own shop, thesecretchateau.com, so come and take a look. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.